Let's get an update on Donald Trump's criminal cases. Joining us now, former litigator and MSNBC legal correspondent Lisa Rubin. We'll start with the classified documents hearing on Friday. What was the bottom line out of it?
Bottom line, Mika, out of it was there was no bottom line, which is we still don't have a trial date in that case. No. Judge Cannon has acknowledged that May 20th, which was her prior trial date, is no longer feasible. But we ended that hearing without a clear understanding from Judge Cannon what trial date she's going to set. If any, she was begged by the Trump lawyers really not to set a trial date until after the election due to a number of different factors, including the fact that he has also moved to dismiss that case on presidential immunity grounds.
Okay, and then we'll go to Fulton County, where we're waiting word on whether Fani Willis can continue. And the question here is twofold. Are they winning just by the delay that's created? And how do you think, what do you think the outcome of the Fani Willis issue will be?
Well, first of all, are they winning just by creating a delay? Trump always wins when he creates delay. And as you know, Mika, throughout his criminal cases, he has succeeded in creating quite a bit of delay, except here in New York, where his trial will begin later this month. In terms of the ultimate outcome, I think it's a little bit hard to say because the legal standard that should govern whether or not there's a conflict of interest that would disqualify Fani Willis is somewhat up in the air. There are folks that will say, as the state did, that there's only a conflict of interest, not only if there's a financial relationship, but one that disadvantaged the defendants. And here, because it wasn't the sort of financial relationship where, for example, it was contingent on winning the case, it's really hard to see how the defendants themselves were hurt by the relationship between Willis and Wade. But Steve Sadow, on the other hand, made a fairly convincing case that the ethics that Fani Willis and Nathan Wade behaved with or without created such an appearance of impropriety that it would be a travesty of justice not to disqualify her. I tend to think she will not be disqualified in the end, but the damage to her reputation and that of Nathan Wade and the cloud over them in terms of whether or not they were truthful with the court will linger for some time to come.
And finally, we're expecting possibly, it seems probably, a decision by the Supreme Court on whether Donald Trump can remain on the ballot. There are some other states that are looking at this as well. But the bottom line is tomorrow, it probably has to come today. What do you think?
I think it absolutely should come today. After all, tomorrow is Super Tuesday, and Colorado is one of the Super Tuesday states. The status quo is that Donald Trump remains on the ballot. If the Supreme Court were going to uphold Colorado, you would think they would have done so one day, more than one day before the primary election.
All right. MSNBC legal correspondent Lisa Rubin, thank you for keeping track of all of that for us.